Hi everyone, welcome to my review of the RPM figures, this time loose. As you can see, I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I think they did a really awesome job on the detailing, especially on the helmets. Whenever I look at the figures, my eyes directly follow to the helmet and nothing else, because they really did a really nice job. The best two figures they really did a nice job on was red and green. Red being because the eyes, as I'll show you later, it really stands out, the really great detailing that they did. So I'll start off by showing you the Black Ranger. As you can see, the Black Ranger, again, the detailing is really nicely done. But that is until you take it out of the packaging and you start turning him around. And uh-oh, looks like we're missing some detail there. I honestly don't understand the way Bandai thinks. I mean, you go through the trouble of really detailing a figure that looks really nice as this, then you stop halfway and you don't do the back. I guess that's something we'll never know, why Bandai does that. So, the Black Ranger figure along with his teammate came with this gun here. And this gun had a little tab, as you can see right here. Actually, I didn't hold it properly. This is the little tab, as you can see right there, right here. And there's a hole on each of the Ranger's belts. They used the same gimmick for Operation Overdrive. Instead of having like bulky holsters, they put this little peg here so you can attach it onto the Ranger's belt. I personally like that a lot better than the bulky holsters some of the figures had, the older figures had, and it would fit on like so. And the Black Ranger figure, along with also the other figures, they came with a tiny version of their Zord. This is what the Black Ranger Zord looked like. And they all came with this sword as well. Sword Zord, I guess they all rhyme. This is what it looks like. And he came with his signature weapon, his gun. And also, all of them came with this little enemy figure. I really wish they made it the size of the figure so that you could actually have like an opponent with the figure, but it's better than nothing, I guess. And so that was the Black Ranger figure. Next, I'll show you the Yellow Ranger figure. Just like Jungle Fury, they made a really nice looking figure. Only difference is Jungle Fury still really stood out because they made a really nice figure, and it was more like slightly bulkier and it looked nicer, while this figure is far too thin. They went out of their way to make the figure look too female that in the end it just didn't look that realistic at all. So this is the only female figure that we have to date that actually has like high heel boots. I really wish they hadn't done that because it makes it really hard to make the figure stand without the figure doing some retarded pose like this figure is doing right now. And like the guy figures, we have like really extraordinary detail there. But when you turn the figure, you see that the belt is not painted. Anyways, the first three RPM figures, the yellow, red, and blue figures, they came with this black case, like this black case that's attached onto the belt. You can remove it, or you can put it back onto the belt. I'm going to show you a close-up of it. I don't know if you guys can see it properly. But what that's supposed to be is that Morpher in the case like locked up. Similar to the Morpher that the Overdrive Rangers had. Except I believe they kept theirs on the sleeve of their arm. I thought that was a really neat add-on. And the three of them also came with an extra add-on, which was this RPM Morpher. And it too had a tab here, which could attach onto the Ranger's belt. I think that's a bit unrealistic because I highly doubt the Morpher is that big. So that's what it would look like. The Yellow Ranger's specific weapons were this little car that, I don't know what this is supposed to be. This little car. And she came with this yellow Zord of hers. And then this little briefcase that doubled as a little trigger. And I'll show you how that worked. It's actually pretty simple. You have this button here, you would hold that down. You take one of the Ranger's cars. You would just align it to the back like so, and then you would let go. It's supposed to act as a little bullet for the villain. You'd put the villain down there. And, oops, sorry. Just align the car. And then send it towards the villain. And that was your Yellow Ranger figure. Next is my all-time favorite figure, the Green Ranger. I really like him because of the detailing on his visor. It looks very nice, and his wheel looks the ultimate best in comparison to all 5 of them. And there's something about his visor. The triangle really stands out. So the Green Ranger's specific weapons were his green sword, or Zord, sorry, sword, Zord, they both sound the same to me. And then he came with his sword. And I also like his weapon. I always liked these axe type weapons, and he came with this like futuristic axe. And that was basically it for the Green Ranger. They all basically came with the same weapons, only difference was their main weapon or the little tiny accessories like the Morphers. Next is the Red Ranger. Oops. I'm sorry. The Red Ranger has problems standing. I'm not a fan of his visor. It just looks way too large for his helmet. But I still can't get over how nicely detailed the eyes on the top of his helmet are. They look really extraordinary and really nice. The Red Ranger's weapons, they're the same as the Yellow Ranger's. Only difference is he did not come with this briefcase. And instead of the little car that I showed you, which was this, he came with this really huge sword. It's supposed to look like a road, I believe. And he came with this little red car, which looked like this. And that was the Red Ranger figure. And last, I'll show you the Blue Ranger figure. Again, accessories, everything is the same as the Red Ranger and the Yellow Ranger. Only difference is, his weapon was this huge thing right here. And this is his tiny little Zord. And all of them, I actually don't have it with me right now because I actually used up those stickers. They all came with a Ranger sticker that had like Ranger Red, Ranger Blue, and they had a picture of each Ranger. And this was done, that was the Blue Ranger there.